Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Libra, December 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Hierophant at our root, and we have Leo at our root. So if we have Taurus or we have Leo energy within our natal chart, this is coming through very powerfully here at our rooted self. Also know that Taurians and Leos, they're going to be able to rattle us just a bit more than others will be able to. So just be aware of that. Stand strong in your convictions. Then we have the Two of Cups and the Page of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If we have water sign energy within our natal chart, it's coming through as a learning tool in our inner self. So that's going to be something to be aware of. We're also going to be a little bit more sensitive than maybe we want to be at times. We have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, amplifying the Taurus energy at our root. But also, again, if we have earth sign energy within our natal chart, it comes through very strongly in an emotional way, meaning we're also looking at our prosperity, how we're moving forward. These things are going to be very important to us. Not that they aren't always important to us, but they're going to have a new magnitude during this time. In our public arena self, we have the Six of Wands and we have the Nine of Wands. So there's a time of celebration, but there's also a sense of I need to stand my ground for what I want, for what I love, for the way that I need to move forward for me. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. This is the Prince of Swords. Now, the Prince of Swords is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now, of course, we can have a tendency to get in our own way during this time, be rash, just run forward, just think, oh my gosh, I just have to do this. We can also kind of react very emotionally or just very kind of not thinking things through. So be mindful of this. And if we need to apologize or if we kind of need to reel ourselves in, just be aware of that. And it would be better to do so, like apologize sooner rather than later if we've kind of gone off the handle, because we can during this time. We're also going to have a tendency to really get caught up in other people's stories, what other people want, what they're excited about. And we're going to think, yes, 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 I'm right here with you. And then they'll get bored of it and move on to something else, or they hadn't thought everything through and we'll wind up doing so much work that we didn't expect. So just be aware of this during this time. Then we have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have visualization, which is the third eye chakra. This is going to be a time for us where really seeing what we want and visualizing the way that we want to move forward in our lives is super important. The third eye chakra and visualization can be undersold. We can look at it and say, oh yeah, sure. I read The Secret, I watched the movie, it doesn't work. And that's fair, because what we're looking at here is not something that will happen overnight. What we're looking at is something that lays down the foundation for things, that starts to open up our mind. So when we visualize something, we start to see ourselves as being able to move forward in prosperity. We start to see ourselves as doing something that maybe once terrified us or we found overwhelming. Now we're starting to say, oh yes, I can. And so with visualization, our mind does not know the difference between make-believe and reality, which can be a scary thing if we don't have a good grasp on our reality around us. But what we're going to be seeing with ourselves is that as we visualize, our mind starts to say, oh, well, I can do this because I already saw me doing this. And even though it's through visualization, it's going to be a powerful tool for us. We also need to remember to visualize things when it's not always the easiest or the most fun, or when we see struggles coming our way. It's like, okay, well, how do I deal with this? How do I handle this? How do I step into my power? What do I need from me to be able to move me forward? And that's going to be a game changer during this time. Now let's talk about things astrologically and see how it correlates to the tarot. Now on the 17th of December, the 16th of December, we have a bit of a break. Nothing is really happening astrologically. The 17th of December, we have the sun semi-sextile Pluto. Now this is important and amplified because Leo is ruled by the sun. So this energy is amplified within us during this time. And this is fantastic energy to have amplified within our lives because it has us being magnetic, it has us being charming, we are driven, we are determined. It's almost as if whatever we set our mind on, we can do, we can succeed, and we can achieve. Also on the 17th of December, we have the sun semi-sextile Venus. Now, again, this is amplified because we ourselves are ruled by Venus, Libra, but so is Taurus energy here at our root. So we're going to be a little bit more serious about love, about the passion that we're letting into our lives, because Taurus is just a little bit more serious. It's a planted energy. It's that earth sign energy going into the earth instead of the air sign energy, the air moving around it, which we are more inclined to be. So here, on the 17th of December, we are also seeing our power of today enhanced by our energy vibration, enhanced by the energy vibration of love. And what we need to embrace here is love, because love propels us forward and brings us towards success. Love and money can be on our side and opportunities just start to open. Even if these opportunities are simply us saying, I'm confident within myself, I know what I want, I know where I'm headed, nothing and no one is going to hold me back. On the 18th of December, we have the full moon in Gemini, which there will be a separate video on. On the 19th of December, we have Mercury squared Chiron. Now, this is going to be interesting. This configuration makes us a bit anxious. We don't want to say the wrong thing. We actually could have a lot of anxiety around saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. It's going to be very important for us to be understood and to be seen as kind. But what we have to remember here is that people will perceive our words through the filter that they have within their own lives. And we can't take that responsibility on ourselves. So just being aware that if we move forward as kindly, as patiently, as lovingly as we can, but still being firm and confident within ourselves, that needs to be enough. Also on the 19th of December, we have a few things going on here. We have Venus going into retrograde, and it will be in retrograde until the 1st of January. Now, Venus going into retrograde kind of throws us off our game here, Libra, because we are ruled by Venus. We also have the Taurian energy of Venus coming forward. So as Venus goes into retrograde, we find that love is a little bit more challenging than we want it to be. We're also going to see here that this could be a little bit calmer if astrologically things weren't so intense. So because Venus is aligned with Pluto during this time, it makes this retrograde more intense and more powerful than it would be before, or if Pluto wasn't aligned with Venus. So we're going to need to remember to make time for ourselves, to open up our hearts, to connect with our heart chakras, and to look at our relationships and what we desire from our relationships and from the relationship that we have with ourselves. Any challenges that are coming up, in those relationships with others, but also the challenges that are coming up with ourselves, because we're going to be so busy wanting to smooth things over with everybody else, thinking those are the really powerful relationships. We will not realize that our own heart is astoundingly powerful, and we need to connect with that. Now, good news, on the 19th of December, we have the Sun sextile Jupiter. Again, the Sun is enhanced because of the Leo energy here at our root. And now, this is a time where we are going to see good luck on our side. We're going to see that, yes, we have, the misstep with Venus, there we go. With Venus retrograde, we're going to be overthinking and overanalyzing with Mercury squared Chiron, but this is going to also be a time, if we align with the Sun sextile Jupiter, where luck is on our side and we seem to be in the right place at the right time. We are enthusiastic, we are confident, we just have to embrace this confidence. On the 20th of December, Mercury is semi-sextile Saturn. This is the alignment of getting things done. This is the alignment of focus of the mind, of really seeing the bigger picture of what we want. We're also going to have excellent memories on this day and can be really good at, again, getting the job done, but having everything be aligned just as we need it, just as we want it. We may have a tendency to obsess over things, so we're going to need to let some things go and step back. It's just going to be better for us. Also, on the 20th of December, Mercury is going to be trine Uranus. Now, this is an amazing alignment. It makes us brilliant and creative. We can see what other people need, and we start to really express ourselves. We can also see things before they happen. We almost have this glimpse into the future. So here, if we're looking to enhance our psychic development on this day, this is the time to do it. The focusing on Mercury trine Uranus on this energy, this really helps us open our third eye, which we are already super connected with during this time, and really push ourselves forward. Don't be afraid to go after what we want, but also don't be afraid to stay calm, to stay focused, and to let this unstoppable energy, this, kind of psychic realization guide us forward, this intuition really lead us. On the 21st of December, we have the winter solstice. Now, this is the last day when Sagittarius, when we move from Sagittarius energy to Capricorn energy. And there will be a separate video done on this, but there's going to be this kind of settling down, and also this really looking at what we desire and what we want on this longest day of the year. On the 23rd of December, the North Lunar Node leaves Gemini and enters into Taurus. This is a big deal for us because, again, we have Taurus at our root, but Gemini energy is fellow air energy. So we kind of feel very comfortable when things are in air energy. It makes us question, it makes us look, it makes us listen, and we like that. What happens during this time is that we have to remember that the North Lunar Node is the head of the dragon. Remember, we talked about that in a previous video, with the tail of the dragon being the South Lunar Node. It is also going to be an excellent time to embrace what we need and to learn how to handle what we desire. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at Gemini energy, we're looking at the mouthpiece, we're looking at the expressions, but what we need to understand here is that we're moving from this learning curiosity, place of Gemini to the North Lunar Node coming into Taurus, really steadying us on our feet. It's not all about the questions. It's more about the answers that we have obtained and the way we're going to ground ourselves with those answers. On the 24th of December, we have Saturn squared Uranus, and this is, of course, Christmas Eve for those who celebrate. This alignment makes us strong and independent. We are self-aware. We are progressive. There's also going to be a bit of an inner tension within us that has us being very, very creative and also very spontaneous. We just, have this little energy of magic around us during this time, which is fantastic on Christmas Eve. What we're also going to see here is that we have a strong sense of responsibility and really appreciate stability, security, and traditions. So this is a time where we're going to be honoring old traditions. We can be starting a few new traditions ourselves. So that's going to be really quite beautiful. On the 25th of December, we have Venus conjunct Pluto. This is Christmas Day, and remember, Venus energy is more amplified with us because we are ruled by Venus and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So love is all around us. It's all important. We need to connect with our hearts. We need to connect with those that we love. We need to be kind to ourselves. We need to be kind to others. This alignment of the heart and our passion is absolutely important. We also need to see and embrace our heart chakra if we cannot be around those that we love. If we find ourselves becoming sad or overwhelmed, this is something that we need to address right when we start to feel it. It's like, okay, I need to go into my own space. I need to look at my own self, because it's going to be something that's a bit difficult for us because we so desperately, not desperately, desperately is a bit of a, well, desperate word, but we have such a beautiful need for the connection of the heart that if we ignore the connection of the heart, we ignore ourselves on this day, on Christmas. Also on the 25th of December, Mars is conjunct Chiron. Now this is an interesting and intense alignment because we have the fiery passion of Mars and the healing warrior of Chiron, which means that we aggressively want to take care of everything. So just being aware of that we're going to aggressively be like, oh, okay, I got this, I can do this. And with others, they're going to feel the same way around us. Oh, okay, I can do this, I can help out, because connecting with the heart is just so important. On the 26th of December, Mercury is sextile Neptune. Now, this alignment makes us extremely sensitive to the world around us and can bring powerful psychic revelations. We need to be kind to ourselves on this day because we're feeling so much and we're connecting so much. Again, the psychic revelations come, this sense of the third eye really coming forward for us becomes a game changer. On the 27th of December, Jupiter is squared in the North Lunar Node. Now, this is known as a philosophical time, meaning that we're looking at questions, we're looking for answers, we're seeking deeper into things. On the 29th of December, the Sun is squared Chiron, again, amplified because of the Leo energy here at our root. This makes us aligned with our passion and our intensity because of the sun. But again, we have the wounded warrior of Chiron, and so here we are going to feel other people's pains very intensely. We cannot let other people outshine our own hearts, our own self. So that's going to be important. We can also want to aggressively kind of take care of things, but there's really this sense of a spotlight around pain on this time that we need to be aware of, especially if we're developing, or as we're developing psychically, we can feel this much more powerfully than we even want to. So be aware of this. We also have on the 29th of December, we have a few things going on here. We have Mercury conjunct Venus, so that energy of Venus, again, amplified because of Taurus at our root, and because we're ruled by Venus, comes forward. This is loving, refined, and honest energy. This is a time of passion, but also being a bit submissive. And I know we don't like that word, but this is going to be a time where if we don't feel passionately about things, if we don't have a strong opinion, we're like, oh, okay, you do what you want. And that's going to be really good, but it can also kind of mean that we don't look at the bigger picture at times, because we're going to think, oh, why would I even bother, type of thing. Like, everything's fine, everything's moving forward, okay. So just be aware of that just a little bit. On the 29th of December, we have Jupiter entering into Pisces, which really amplifies the Pisces energy around us on this day. Jupiter and Pisces have a lot in common. They're both astoundingly spiritual. They're all into the growth of the individual and the world around them, and they really align us with wisdom. So here, as this Piscean energy grows within us and is amplified before us, we're going to focus on the heart, which we always love focusing on, Libra, but we're also going to see what brings us more compassion and what helps us be a little bit more self-sacrificing in the greater kind of scheme of what we desire from our lives or for our lives. We will also have to be mindful about the energy that we're letting in, because again, our psychic gifts, the last half of December is really great for our psychic gifts growing and developing, but if we're not just aware of the energy that we're letting in, we can feel very overwhelmed by everything. On the 30th of December, Mercury is conjunct Pluto. Now, this is an alignment of powerful intelligence and intense curiosity. We can be astoundingly intense about the way that we communicate. We're also going to have a very unique way of communicating, which makes people listen to us. But again, remember, this is astrologically, so everybody's going to be intensely curious, want to know the whys and the how comes, and have this way of speaking that draws people in. So we just have to be aware of that on this time. On the 30th of December, we also have Mars sextile Saturn. Now, this makes us driven and very focused. We are going to really be like a duck. Everybody's going to be like a duck on the 30th of December. It's going to be that calm, cool, energy up on top, or that everybody's seeing. And underneath, we're all paddling like crazy. And we're not going to give one another the kind of like respect we deserve, or that each of us deserves for the energy that we're taking on, because we just think, oh my gosh, I just have to paddle and paddle and paddle. That person's doing fine. I just need to be worried about me. So opening ourselves up to compassion, maybe saying, I have a lot on my plate during this time. It's not as easy as it looks, and not being kind of angry about it. That's going to be really important. Now, for the whole month of December, Lilith remains direct in Gemini. This means that we're really good at communication, at really kind of getting what we want from things, and talking, and having people come around us with our words. But we're also going to have a tendency to smooth over anything that we don't really like, anything that we think is not as positive as we would like it to be. We'll give it a spin. We can be great PR people during this time. We just have to make sure that we're not sweeping very important things under the rug, because we're going to have a tendency to want to do this. The Hierophant at our root during this time, again, has traditions being very important to us. Institutions are going to be important to us. The institution of the family, the institution that we create with friends, or even our work, we're going to find that we are very driven towards success and towards laying down solid foundations to the things that we care the absolute most about. The Hierophant also comes in and says, listen to the tradition of your heart. Listen to what you need in order to be the human being that you want to be within your life, in order to embrace the world that you desire. And as we do this, we start to honor ourselves more and more. As we do this, we realize, wow, if I go against this, I go against the very essence of me, and I'm not willing to. So here, it's very important, because if we stay true to ourselves, we start to open up the keys to heaven. We start to open up the keys, we start to unlock the door to our paradise, or our idea of paradise, by staying true to who we are and embracing what we love. It brings us to strength. It brings us to Leo energy. It brings us to a place of determination. This strength is not the bodybuilder strength. It's not the strength we think of when we think of something being strong. It's not this big overpowering strength. It is the sense of love walking with us. And it's the sense through love, things become strong, things become powerful, things become so much more than we ever realized that they could be. And the strength of that love is amazing. And if we connect with this, and if we really see this, our whole world changes. And it brings us to the Two of Cups. It brings us to healing, beautiful love. It brings us to a connection of the heart. It brings us to passion and beauty and insight. The Two of Cups is unity. And as we have this unity coming forward, we find ourselves grounding ourselves. We also find ourselves looking at what charges us, what leads us forward, what we want more of in our lives. And it brings us to the Page of Cups that says, I am making my heart a study. In our inner self, we are looking at what we love. We're looking at what we need emotionally, spiritually, connected with this earth. Does this mean that we want to, just rule the world? No, it doesn't. Actually, what this means is that we want to listen to our hearts. And this can be a time where we're not as gregarious as we usually are. We can be much more introspective, much quieter, much more interested in what we want and what we love for ourselves. This is also going to be a time where our heart might be asking us questions. And because we're ruled by Venus, when our heart asks us questions, Libra, we need to listen. What do we love? What do we need? Is this calling forward the sacred within our life? And how do we do this? Is this a connection with a orthodoxy? Or is this a connection with something that isn't quite as ephemeral or quite as abstract? Is this saying, I need to connect with the world around me? But how do I do this when I don't feel that connection? This can be going outside. This can be connecting with the earth that we walk on. This can be connecting with the trees that give us shade and also clean our air, with the ocean that cleans our air and holds so much mystery. We can start to find meaning in the world around us. We can start to find meaning in the connection with other human beings. And that could be enough at this time, because we're being led by love. And it moves us to the Three of Pentacles. It moves us emotionally looking at the seeds that we're planting and what we desire and how we desire moving forward. The Three of Pentacles is wealth and prosperity. The Three of Pentacles is also the evolution of the human being. So we can see this as maiden, mother, crone if we want to go super traditional, but we can also see this as the child, the adult, the wisdom, which is more encompassing. And what we're going to be looking at is how do I move forward to what I want and what I love. We're going to find messages through our dreams. We're also going to find wealth around us, but we might have to kind of redefine what wealth is, just like we're redefining what strength is. It's not going to be that wealth has to be, the limousines and the fancy houses and, this and that and just jet setting around the world. That might not ever be in our cards. But what we do have here is creating warmth and stability and structure around us, being able to connect with our hearts and what we love, being able to open up that door and say, this is what I need for me. And as we do this simple act that has us focusing on the creation, the sculpting, the understanding, brings us to the Queen of Pentacles, brings us to a place of wealth and prosperity, brings us to a place of bounty and abundance. And it starts to change the world around us. And as we're doing this, we're saying, I am worth, this success. I am worth this power and this passion. And we start to nurture this within us. We let ourselves be crowned by love. We let our hearts move forward. We let ourselves, plant deeply within us the seeds to our own success and to our own prosperity. It leads us to the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is celebration. The Six of Wands is like, I've done this and I've done this well. I get to celebrate me. I get to embrace me. I get to know that I matter. It's like having a really good boss. Some of us have never had a really good boss that builds us up, but we would like one, right? Here with the Six of Wands, it's understanding that we have to build ourselves up. We have to embrace our passion and our desire and what we want and what we need from our life and for ourselves, that we matter. And this is being that person who is our number one fan and our number one cheerleader. It's not being egotistical. It's not being egocentric or self-centered. What it is being is saying, I see my worth. I'm finally seeing my worth. And instead of saying, oh, well, you could have done more. You should have done this. You should have done that. That's being a bad boss, right? Instead of praising what we have done, instead of seeing that we have completed the task at hand or done really well, we just always rip ourselves down. And that is what we need to stop. There's a need here during this time for celebration because the Nine of Wands, we have everybody's opinion coming our way. And what we need to realize is that we've stood in our power, in our insight, in our ideas, in what we desire and love for our life. And that's the game changer. And we need to start. If you're saying, Dean, that doesn't sound like me, well, we need to. We need to. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a way that they think we should live our lives, that they think that we should be. And that's great, but they have their life and they get to live that. We get to live this. And as we're coming in, we're starting to see ourselves stronger than we had seen before. We're also starting to really embrace our passion and our desire and the way that we want to move forward in our lives and what we want to move forward towards and what we want to celebrate. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the King of Swords. Again, it's being mindful of ourselves. It can be that we become too logical. We just boil everything down to logic and facts, and it has to be like this. And we kind of really have to embrace our heart here because that's going to be so important. We're also going to have to look at the fact that we're going to be very drawn to people who are very logical, who have a brilliant way with words. We might think, oh my gosh, this person is so smart or this person is so interesting to listen to. But they're also going to be very harsh. And we have to be mindful of that. They will take their criticism personally. And yet what this person knows how to do really well is criticize. Not build up, just criticize, just rip down. Our subconscious chakra energy is listening. This is the throat chakra. I need to listen. And that's what our world is saying. We need to listen. We think of the throat chakra, we think of speaking. As air sign energy, we are fantastic at speaking. We're also fantastic at kind of hearing what we want to hear. So we just have to be mindful about this. It's part of our air sign energy. Here, when we listen, it can become a superpower because we will be so good at it that other people look and are like, I didn't say that. And it's like, yeah, you did. Or we read people's body languages. We see how they're interacting with others. We look at certain things, we get certain hints and certain clues, and it's like, oh, okay, I see. I see. And it's because I listened. I listened not only to the person, but to the world around me. And that becomes powerful. It moves us to our subconscious rooted self. And it's the Lovers. It's Gemini energy coming forward. And it's saying here, I need the love in my life. I need the passion. I need the coming in of the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine. I need to not close the door on anyone or anything, because I am embracing love and passion and brilliance of my soul. It's not putting ourselves in a harm way. So when Spirit is saying, I'm not closing my door on anybody, it doesn't mean that we're not closing our door on certain people where the chapter is well written and well done. What it means here is that I am embracing the fact that love will come in the most unbelievable ways into my life. It could be romantic love. It could be love of friendship. It could also be love of work and love of creation and love of self. Just being able to step into that love and step into our hearts. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And it's the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a wish being granted. The Nine of Cups is beauty coming forward within our lives. The Nine of Cups is other people seeing this before we do. And it's embracing our passion and our brilliance. It's knowing that there's more here than meets the eye. And so let us walk forward towards what is to be discovered, but also let us cherish the moment that we stand in right now. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and it's the Four of Wands. It's celebration and success. It's power and prosperity. It's seeing things open. It's seeing ourselves open. It's seeing more. This could be new job opportunities. This could be moving house. This could be new relationships. But it's also a sense of my world has become new and my world has become beautiful. It brings us to our subconscious. It's celebration. The Four of Wands right here, Spirit is saying it doesn't mean anything has to be new. What it means is that I have to start celebrating my life, what I love, my beauty, my brilliance. And it's starting to live as a celebration. It's starting to live as a blessing, because that's what we are. We are blessings. Our subconscious public arena self is the Nine of Coins. We have a lot of nines here. The nine is, we have 9 here and here in subconscious. We have it repeated twice. 9 is almost coming to an end of a cycle. The Nine of Coins is the sense of prosperity coming forward, is the sense of hard work paying off. It's like, I've put in my time, I've put in my effort. Now I'm reaping my reward. And yes, I know there's going to be more hard work to come, and that's okay. But now I get to celebrate. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.